The Laodiceans as a church were individually invited to hear a still small voice and a gentle knock from outside the door. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him and eat with him and he with me. This is most often used for evangelistic purposes and reaching the lost. This verse in context, however, has nothing to do with those who have not been born again. Rather, he is speaking to his wayward church, those who already have been born again. Irony of all ironies is that instead of Jesus being in the midst of his own church and in the midst of his own people, he's stuck outside waiting for her to let him back in to the church that he founded with his own blood. This is the same church that he loved and gave himself up for. The letter to the church is addressed unto the angel of the church, presumably the pastor of the church, who then is tasked with reading the letter to the church as a whole. And ideally what would happen after a circular letter was read and received, the whole church would respond in unison with whatever directive that they've been given. But with the church at Laodicea, there's almost this sense that the whole church drifted away from God a little too far. And usually in any given circumstance like this, and while the majority may have gone astray, there have always been a remnant of believers that remained faithful somewhere. So the last 6 churches we've uncovered had a group of believers that remained faithful, a remnant within the local church. Not so with the church at Laodicea. At Laodicea, no evidence of a remnant of believers exists in the text. They have all gone wayward, hence the individual invitation for whosoever would hear to answer the door to let him in. So this invitation, while so beautiful, is at the same time a severe indictment of a church that is self-sufficient, smug, complacent, and only a teensy-weensy bit Christian. The promise that he would come in and eat with whoever opens the door is metaphor for intimate fellowship that is shared by all believers across the globe. In ancient Near East culture, to be invited into a home for food and fellowship was an invitation to enjoy the most intimate of relationships among friends, only to be surpassed by family and loved ones. So this is the reason why we say that Christianity is not a religion, but rather a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, a relationship that will grow in intimacy through our obedience to him, our faithfulness to him, our prayer to him, our service unto him, and meditation upon his word. This is a lifelong relationship, or better yet, an eternal relationship. And so a good question that we should really ask ourselves is this: where is Christ in relationship to our local church? Is he welcome, cherished, respected, given authority, and truly followed? Or is he left outside, always trying to gain entry among the people that carry his name?